Each one of these rappers had one of the biggest fall-offs in hip-hop history. Starting with my most controversial take, Eminem. Look, I know a lot of people are going to be pissed off at me for having that take, but just hear me out, alright? Towards the beginning of Eminem's career, he had an absolutely amazing 3-album run, being the Slim Shady LP, the Marshall Mathers LP, and the Eminem Show. But something seriously hindered his success. During the years 2000 to 2008, Eminem was extremely addicted to drugs, taking 75 to 80 Valiums a night. This progressively got worse as time went by, and in 2007 he nearly died from a drug overdose.
I certainly probably a couple hours away from death. Not to make this too tense of a moment, but yeah, I overdosed and almost died.
And as that drug addiction got worse, his listeners also noticed that his music was starting to fall off. For example, take a listen to this unreleased track, Wee Wee.
Put it on my wee wee. Banana, strawberry, pineapple, orange. Put it on my wee wee. Banana, strawberry, pineapple, orange. Put it on my wee wee. Banana, strawberry, pineapple, orange. Put it on my wee wee. Banana, strawberry, pineapple, orange. Got a dick and as big as a banana. I try to control it, but I guess I can't. It shoots off like an AK clip banana. You better watch out, Hannah Montana.
Yeah, I think that's the second worst song that Eminem's ever dropped. However, Eminem did have a comeback. He stopped taking drugs, and the quality of his music afterwards drastically increased. But I still don't think it's the same as it used to be. Compare anything Eminem has released recently to any of his first 3 albums, and you'll notice an absolutely massive difference. I feel like the result of Eminem being crazy on drugs and taking a really long break from hip-hop kind of made him lose a little bit of his talent. Unfortunately now I find the majority of his newer music to be extremely mediocre, and that's because of his really strange delivery and lyricism that he started doing. However, unlike Eminem, Chance the Rapper had probably the biggest fall-off in hip-hop history, after releasing one of the worst rap albums of all time. From 2013 to 2016, Chance the Rapper's career was doing extremely well. He had released the 2 mixtapes Acid Rap and Coloring Book, which both had received excellent reception. Following these 2 mixtapes, there was a lot of anticipation for his upcoming debut album titled The Big Day. Even the title of that album is kind of hyping itself up. Like, it's supposed to be about Chance's marriage, but I'm pretty sure it's also trying to say that, like, oh, there's gonna be this massive big day when this album drops. And then the album was absolutely fucking terrible. Literally nobody liked this album. Anthony Fantano gave it a 0 out of 10.
The Big Day is essentially a 22-track torture chamber with 77 minutes of runtime. Lots and lots of features, some of which are kind of bad, corny skits, offensive vocal performances, and honestly, Chance's worst bars to date. I am genuinely feeling like a strong 0 on this record. It's like a strong 0 to a light 1.
However, the album still did pretty well in streaming. Somehow the absolutely terrible song Hot Shower reached over 200 million streams. Listen to how awful Chance's delivery is on this track.
Trying to catch sleep, trying to count sheep. Hot damn, hot water, hot shower.
Chance received so much hate on his debut album that he decided to stop dropping projects for an entire 6 years, only releasing singles during that time span. But it is possible that Chance could make a comeback. After so long, Chance has finally announced that he's going to be releasing a second album titled Starline, which is coming out this July. I just really hope it's a lot better than his debut. He can't make the same mistake again. Also, I lied when I said Chance had the biggest fall-off, because that title definitely goes to Kanye West. Kanye is the only rapper who went from dropping Jesus Walks to Diddy Free. He has a catalogue of about 7 extremely influential albums, and he's responsible for pretty much all of the mainstream hip-hop we hear today. But unfortunately, as time has went by, he showed that he's an insanely racist piece of shit, and his music quality has gradually been getting worse and worse. Vultures 1 is the first project that he dropped after saying tons of horrible things about Jewish people, and you could already tell a huge decline in the quality of that project. Although there were some good tracks, the majority of the project was mediocre at best. And it didn't help that Kanye kept bringing anti-Semitic lyricism into his music. Bully was probably the last good project Kanye dropped, and will ever drop. The production was incredible, although a lot of the songs were ruined by AI vocals. And now he's progressively been getting more and more extreme, dropping songs like Hail Hitler, Diddy Free, and Cousins.
Hanging with my cousin, reading dirty magazines. We seen two niggas kissing, we ain't know what that shit mean.
Which is definitely a bad song, by the way. I've heard a lot of people say that it's a really emotional track, and that's what makes it special. But just because the track's emotional, it doesn't mean it's good. There is pretty much nothing transformative about this song. The lyricism, melody, and production is awful all the way through the track. The rapper CJ had a fall-off that was so fast you might not have even heard of him. After just one interview, CJ pulled himself into some serious gang-related conflict. And to make it even worse, he was faking being a blood the entire time. In July 2022, CJ dropped Whoopty, a song that you might remember.
Blue cheese, I swear I'm addicted to blue cheese. I gotta stick to this paper like blue sleep. Bitch, I'm by my chicken like it's a two-piece.
The track blew up extremely fast, pulling in over 800 million streams on Spotify. However, there were multiple problems with this song. Firstly, CJ was wearing tons of red clothing in the video, clearly resembling the Bloods gang, but he had absolutely no affiliation with it. Secondly, in the chorus of the song, CJ kept saying the word whoopty.
Whoopty, bitch, I'm outside of some movie.
And in this interview, he talks about how he uses the word.
Pretty much whoopty, like, it's worldwide now. You know, I got babies, you know, saying whoopty. I got, you know, middle-aged people, you know, older people. Pretty much it's just like a roll call, you know, whenever I see my guys in the street, and, you know, that's how we greet each other. It's like a New York when people say, yeah.
But as it turns out, this word has a lot of history behind it. It's actually slang invented by real Blood gang members. And third, CJ's uncle was James Cruz, who's worked in the past with lots of very successful rappers like Diddy, Busta Rhymes, 50 Cent, and Tupac. Due to this, a ton of people started to speculate that he was an industry plant. And because of CJ completely lying about being a Blood member, some actual Blood members felt extremely disrespected and even told CJ to pull up.
You talking about whoopty, nigga? Yo, bro, like, tell that nigga pull up right now, nigga. Tell that nigga put up, nigga. Pull the fuck up right now, nigga, pull up.
There were also allegations that CJ had stolen the flow of other rappers. And honestly, yeah, he did do that. I mean, listen to this clip.
Can't fuck with no bitch, that's basic. Look at my swag, the drip is contagious.
Can't fucking no hoe, that's basic. I used to run up chase and really break it.
I call her Grace, the face is amazing.
Look at my face and tell me it's amazing. Hey, when my time get wasted.
Slide, hop in the V, let's go for a ride. Like,
wait, slide. She said she feeling a vibe. I told her jump in the ride.
It's pretty funny though, because one of the victims made a diss track on CJ using the Whoopty beat, which is literally better than the original song.
Suck my dick. Whoopty. Now niggas thinking they loopy. You a dick riding groupie. They looking at me like I'm Tunchi. Put these niggas in a place, hit them with the Drake, slime like Tusi.
Because of all of the controversy surrounding him, CJ's reputation took a major hit, and it's unlikely he'll ever touch that level of fame again. The Spotify Discover Weekly playlist is absolutely shit. It never actually recommends any good songs. But that's fine because I have a solution. Introducing the Man Like Quinton playlist. It gets updated every single week by me with new songs from classic to underground artists. You should save this playlist right now, so go to the link in the description, and then keep watching the video. Lil Wayne went from one of the most influential rappers of all time to one of the most insignificant rappers of all time. And recently his album The Carter 6 was really the nail in the coffin for his career. Since 2004, Lil Wayne has had a series of albums titled The Carter, and the early projects are some of the most influential pieces of music in hip-hop history. Nearly all trap music we listen to today is massively influenced by Lil Wayne, because he was the one responsible for bringing that genre into the mainstream. However, while he played a major role in evolving mainstream hip-hop into trap music, he still struggled to evolve his own style. Besides his rock music phase, Weezy's style has barely changed from the day he started rapping, and it almost seems a bit like he's lost some of his passion for making music. Progressively, his music has been getting worse and worse over the years. And now we're at The Carter 6, which is probably the most hated album of 2025.
Look, I'm not going to beat around the bush with this review. This album was pretty bad. Not just bad, but shamefully bad at points. Bad form, bad ideas, bad taste, bad execution.
The song Peanuts to an Elephant not only has awful production, but really demonstrates how passionless Wayne sounds on this record.
What up, though? All my niggas cutthroat, cut a head off, be looking like you fumble, smoking like double Dutch, all you jump rope.
Yeah, that shit sounds ridiculous. I don't really think Lil Wayne's going to be able to revive his career in the future. I would hope so, but it really doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Check out this video on the screen if you're interested. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.